What's going on, man? Big Lock TV in the building today. This is Thursday, October 13th, 2022. I probably put too many twos in there. 2022. Still getting used to it. And 2023 is right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. But this is Big Lock TV. I'm very excited tonight. When I started this YouTube journey, man, all I wanted to do is create a platform and a space that would eventually help somebody. So tonight is dedicated to the ladies. And I got a special guest, Miss TANIECE, Miss Pretty Shooters Firearms. I got her in the back chat, and we are ready to talk about a few things dealing with guns, women, and the Second Amendment, and her being a firearm instructor. So, without further ado, we're gonna introduce a warm welcome to Miss Pretty Shooters Firearms.
Hey y'all. Hey
Hey,
Big Log, what's up?
what's going on? What's going on? How you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling tired, but ain't nothing to it but to do it. We push through.
We push through. We can't do nothing but prevail through the fight, the fire, and the storm.
That's it. That's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling blessed, moving.
That's all
How
we
you
need.
feeling?
I'm good. I'm good. Like you said, we gonna keep things rolling. It don't do no good to complain. We can complain all day, but don't nobody care.
Gotta make solutions. That's all I care about.
Hey, we gonna make it pop. We gonna make it pop all day. So just overall, like, how was your day today? Like,
My day was busy. My day is always busy. I'm a workaholic, but I love it. I love being able to go throughout my day, do multiple things. Today I was on extra mommy duty. My
okay,
littlest one was sick, so he was home with me. So, just getting to the mommy duties, work, emails, just making sure that my brand is the best. I got some good things coming, so I've been working real hard on some new stuff for everybody. So yeah, just blessed and busy, booked and busy.
book. Oh man, we all want that as what entrepreneurs.
Yeah,
Entrepreneurs, we want to be booked and busy, and we gonna complain, but ain't nothing like having that time and that money rolling in.
yeah, man. Like for me to see the fruits of my labor, to be able to like take off and the business still run and things like that, like that really just warms my heart because it's like you work to get to that point. So I love what I do. I love what I do.
Oh man, that's amazing. That's amazing when you can find what you love, what you care about, make money from it, change lives, and got that freedom, that entrepreneur. You took a risk.
Yeah, a big risk because I did this before COVID, way before COVID. So it was like you was still trying to get people into it, and you was like almost people wanted us to persuade them. And I'm like, look, I don't sell insurance. I'm not doing that. If you see the need, then you gonna come see me. If you don't, I'll be here when you do. So COVID definitely made the firearms boom popular, and
What?
yeah, it did something different.
So like when you say before COVID, we all know COVID was what, early 29, I mean late 2019 throughout 2020. So how early did you start this?
I started instructing people in 2016. I think I went in like 2017 and got all of my credentials fully out the way. But I'm a stickler for making sure everything is right. So I'm not the type of person that was going to jump out there the same month I got my stuff and started doing classes. Like I wanted to learn. I wanted to hit the ground, like I want to hit the pavement a little bit. I wanted to make sure when I came out, my PowerPoints was on point. My instruction was on point. My conversation to my students was on point. I did a lot of research. I did a lot of classes. I did a lot of watching other people do classes. I did a lot of research. And then when I came out, it was like, dang, where you been at? But people in my hometown, like, oh, she been rocking. But,
Oh,
I like to make sure it's right for the people, man. I don't like to do nothing premature. I take my time as long as it's right. So 2016, we started this thing. 2017, I had my first clients. I think my business got incorporated in 2019. We've been rocking ever since, man. So I'm a few years in. God bless.
2016. I'm a little bad with math. So that's what, 6 years going on
Yeah.
7?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's interesting because I can say I've seen the drive of people want to. I've even at a point wanted to become a firearm instructor. I was like, I want to do some more with YouTube, and I was like, what better would credify me than having USCCA attached to firearm instructor, Mr. Smith?
Yeah.
That'll make me feel really, really good. What drove the inspiration to become a firearms trainer?
Oh man, it was a few things. Initially, it started off like a joke, really. It started off with me going to get my license in my 20s, and then next thing I know, I go get my license, and I felt like the instructor, he wasn't giving us, the right information. He wasn't giving us all the information. He was more so paraphrasing, and giving like his personal opinion. So as I'm looking around in a class full of like predominantly African American, I'm like texting my family like, "Yo, is this don't sound right?" So I started taking more classes just for my own knowledge, just like, I want to go to somebody better than him. So I started doing more classes. I'm driving further out at this point. I'm driving an hour, 2 hours away. I'm taking classes. And then next thing I know, some instructors were like, you should do this. So I'm like, think about it. Around that same time, I had a girlfriend had something happen to her, and she knew, I would periodically go to the range whenever I could. Just, hey, I'm going to the range. I'll call you when I leave type thing. I ain't really talk too much about it. I've been firing guns, going to the range since I was 15, 16, and really before then, but that's when I really got like serious about it. So I was like, all right, something happened to her, very traumatic. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but she called me and she was like, can you help me? I was like, help you with what? Everything all right? She told me what happened, and I'm like almost like half in tears. And I was like, sure, I can help you. That helping her just trying to, because she made the decision like, well, I know you got your license. I'm trying to get mine. One thing led to another. Word of mouth started spreading, and then it was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and do this, because I felt like women just didn't want to do it, but it was more like a cry for help. Like I was getting a lot of people who wanted to do it, and they were like, wow, I'm seeing you do it, so now I got the strength to do it. So it was like, you know what, let me push through, let me see where this can go, let me help them. It started out as friends, and then friends became friends of friends, friends of family, people I didn't know, and then it just took off, man. It took off. I can't even lie to you, it was something that was unplanned. I go to the range anyway. I'm thinking everybody like guns, so I'm like, y'all don't shoot. So it just blew my mind, man. And I feel like I was in the right place at the right time to help that friend. And like I said, off of that one person, it blew up. Like my Facebook started blowing up, and it was just like, man, y'all need me. So I rose to the occasion.
That's a story. That's a positive. That's a great story. That's a great way to get into it.
Yeah, I was trying to be a rapper or a chef or something, something good. And they didn't rope me into, no, I'm playing. But, white picket fence was my dream. Make sure I had some kids, have a good life, have some money in my pocket, travel the world. I already had a profession. So, yeah, it turned out all right for me.
Be mentally at peace. That's all we want in this life. Is there a representation of women in your field, and then more specific, is there a representation of Black women in your field, African American?
I think now we're starting to see a lot more women. A lot of women that I converse with, they're all over the country, so that's kind of nice. They're in different areas. I have a few up here, but I would still say where I'm at, it's a lot, but then it's not a lot, if that makes any sense. So you have a lot of newcomers, a lot of people who, are training and things, but they're still getting their feet wet, which I'm super excited for them to grow and see other women, because it's collaboration over competition, all day. So I think it's a lot of us. I think people don't realize a lot of firearms instructors are really in any sense. You have some people who are like great at basic pistol. You have others who are great at concealed. You have some who are great at running and gunning, low light, outside, tactical, military experience. So when you talk about firearms instructors, it's a lot of us, but everybody doesn't do the same thing as well. So We're up and coming, we're growing, man. We're all over the country. We won't be silenced. We should not be moved. Woman King, you saw the movie. We coming through, you know. So yeah,
kicking the door, waving the 4-4.
all the herbs popping over, even though more we doing it. So shout out to my women, man, all over the country. I love y'all. Arkansas, Florida, Alabama, you got Atlanta, you got all people all over, man. I mean, they doing it, man. They doing it big in a major way. DC, Maryland, what up?
You said Atlanta like it was its own state, which is what it feels like when you go
When
to
you're
Atlanta.
not from Atlanta, we assume when we say Atlanta, you know we talking about Georgia. That's how you know we not from nowhere across the other side of the line. But
Real.
Georgia, what's up, man?
Why the name Prettyshootersfirearms? Like what made you come up with that? And if I'm ugly, can I still come shoot with you?
Man, look, man, you can still be PSF, Powerful Shooters Firearms, man. I got the men's branch coming. Like I said, man, it's just about family, it's about love. But really, my mom named me. Craziest story. I remember telling her one day, she called me and wanted me to take her to the store. So I'm taking her to the store and we in the car. And I told her what I was thinking about doing, and she looked at me like, "What? Like, ain't nobody doing that." So I'm like, "Mom, come on." She's like, "Girl, you always so rough. You your daddy's son. You know, what's up with you?" So I had some name and I can't even remember. And I told her, and she was like, "I don't know about this." And I said, "So what you wanted to fit you?" So she like, "I mean, well, at least if it was something, you know, cute or something." I said, "Oh, so we supposed to be pretty shooters?" She said, "Maybe then at least I fit the part." So I'm like, "Girl, you just want to be cute." My mom, so like I said, I started training in 2016, taking classes, getting my credentials. My mom ended up passing away in 2017. So when she passed away, that was just more fuel for me to be like, it's stamped. I ain't changing it. I ain't moving it. We pretty shooters. Cause she like laughed a little bit, but she laughed and she was like excited about it. So she got to see the beginning process of me trying to figure everything out and going to classes. And she was proud of me and she kept saying, "Oh, you really doing this." So just, you know, big up her, because if she was here, I know she would have been like ecstatic that it just blew up like it did. So I'm just thankful, man. So mom's named me. Yeah.
Well, I'm so sorry to hear that. Condolences, most definitely to you. And mama came up with a name. Like look at you now.
Yeah, and look, man, I'm sad that my mother's gone, but she did what she was supposed to do. You know, I keep a clean house. I fry chicken hard the first time. I can shoot.
Ooh.
You know, God is good. So she did what she was supposed to do. So I'm thankful she left that legacy for me. You know, so I just every day I wake up, I'm like, I go hard. You know, I go hard for that reason because she ain't here. So I'm blessed.
Most definitely, most definitely. We appreciate the grind. Shout out to everybody in the chat who with me right now. Shout out Southern Suburban. That's wifey out there in the game. That's shout out Johnny Gun Gang, My Fly Family. What's happening? Pimpin', Howard J. Shout out to the Bug Nation Infestation. Anybody who went here, but My Fly Family. I like that guy. I like that guy.
Hey,
That guy.
y'all.
That guy had a good question. I don't know if you can read that down there at the bottom. I'll try to be a good narrator. How do you feel about training someone who is going through a domestic violence situation currently? Good idea, bad idea.
So when people say trainer, right, and this is what I mean about you have a lot of instructors, but then you got to be seasoned. You got to be around and go through some things through experience to kind of know how to answer this. It's a good thing for them to get training, but when I say that, it's tons of other things they can do prior to getting a firearm, right? I encourage therapy. I encourage that they've gotten over that mental component, because shooting is 90% mental and 10% ability. So if mentally your mind is somewhere else, or you're scared or you're upset, you're not going to be as effective as you think you are, you know, right? You don't want to jump at everything that you hear happen outside. So I always encourage people to come sit with me and talk to me first, right? They sit with me, they talk to me, I hear their why they're doing it, and I just kind of give them some resources I have. Another part of this is, especially for women, to get in touch with therapists who they really can connect with, right? A lot of people don't know there's multiple different therapists out there. All therapists not the same. Some of them let you just talk, and you get it out and you feel better. But then some of them actually give you work to do. Some of them actually talk to you the whole time. So you got to find out what type of therapist for what you're going through do you need, right? Then you get PTSD from situations like domestic violence and things. So then you have to ask yourself, is the situation really done, right? You always want to be protected, but then you want to put other things in place like safeguards if you know the probability of you using it is high. So I always encourage people to get a therapist, or I try to send them some resources. I always encourage people to get some type of new routine so they're not doing the same routine that possibly someone can find them and get hurt with. So before they come to me, I ask them, are they ready to make this lifestyle change, right? Because a lot of times people don't realize they need to create a safety plan in the home, outside of the home, because you don't get a firearm license where I'm at overnight, right? At the very least, you can get one in 30 days, but going into conceal, you talking about 60, 90 days. So really what's in place to help you in the interim, right? Is your house, is your fortress, really a fortress? Is your security system really up to par? Or should it be changed? Do you need more things? Are your family members aware of your safety plan? Do you have a get out plan? Do you have emergency things until you get your firearm? Are the police involved? If the police are involved, what kind of help are they providing? So it's a lot of things that people should really think about when domestic violence comes into play. I do encourage at some point they think about some type of safety measure. But again, people got to remember all over the country, a firearm is a last resort. And mentally, if you ain't right, I don't care if you got the biggest guns out here, it's not going to help you in the heat of battle. So you got to deal with the mental, get your mental together, make that lifestyle change, and then you can kind of move over to that last resort, which is a firearm. So I would say yes, but preparation is key. Prep first, work now, stay ready. You ain't got to get ready.
That's the code. That's the code. Stay ready. You ain't got to get ready. Always on your P's and Q's. Always watching your surroundings. Uh, so I definitely why I wanted to have you on tonight. We have a lot of women who are just not getting into guns and don't fully understand the importance of everything that needs to be done before getting the gun. So we appreciate you for most definitely giving that game, because it is mental. The gun was never meant to be one of those things. You get it, you feel the power, and you just stop right there. It's always supposed to be a learning journey with guns. You find out a lot about yourself once you start getting into guns. So I definitely appreciate you for tuning in on that. Give us a day in your shoes. Like, you wake up in the morning. I know today you said you had to stop some things because you had a little one sick. But what's a day like in your shoes?
A day in my shoes, I wake up roughly around 7:30, 8 o'clock. I get up, I make sure the kids get ready. I drop one of them at school. I see the other one off to the bus stop. I come back home. I work full time. On top of this business, I have 2 businesses, side hustles, kids. So I come back home. I hop on my computer. I do some work. Go grab the little one from school. I come home. I do dinner. Various things may happen. I may have a personal session with somebody at the range for an hour or two. I may have learning set up for myself. I may have meetings and things with just some people who help me do things. I send emails, making sure the kids get fed, always cook a good home cooked meal. I do all of my dry firing at night. I tell people, I do all of my dry firing at night. I get my clothes out at night. I do my dry firing at night. I do my practice, whatever my concealment method is going to be for the next day. I do it at night. I oftentimes know that when people try to do it in the morning, if you have enough time, it is great. But realistically, you always are supposed to dry fire every single time before you leave the house in every method. So me, I dry fire at night to make sure my ensemble, my method, my holster, everything is working appropriately. So when I get ready in the morning, I may do one or two dry fires in the mirror and I'm gone out the door. I use my nighttime for practice when the house is calm, when I can think, when my day has set in, because you really gonna see what type of shooter you are when that exhaustion set in. A lot of people do it at the top of the morning, and that's great. On my weekends, I definitely do the top of the morning before I leave out, but I like to hit that. I want to keep my momentum going. I want to see what my finger dexterity is like at the end of the day. I want to see, before I go to bed, am I ready? So for me, a lot of dry firing at night, 1 or 2 quick practices in the morning. I pretty much stay up to about 11:30, watch one episode of Law and Order or First 48, and that's my night. That's my day.
Wow. just put it on us like that. That's shit.
Yeah, I work a full-time job too, and I love it. I work in the medical field, but in the medical field 11 years. I love what I do. I just finished 2 degrees in the medical field back to back, so I ain't in school no more. I can't say that. Nonprofit owner, side hustle. I do a lot.
So wait till I get my editing skills up and I can stop everything and hit the applause button. We're gonna
I
clap it up for you right here, right
it.
now. Yes to the paper, yes to the money. That's the Virgo in you, I'm assuming.
You already know. You see it back there. There you go. You see it back there behind me. Okay. I'm a Virgo in every sense of the word, man. It's not one thing I tell people about me. You can Google whatever you want about a Virgo. Believe all that. Believe all that. Good or bad. I had good days and I had bad days. I can love you to piece of pieces.
Whoo.
Yeah.
that's real. Shout out to My Fly family again. That man gonna write a book one day if he ain't already did.
You feel like there's an even playing field. So this is crazy that he said this question. So the question says, as a content creator, which I don't consider myself, I'm my daddy's son over a content creator. I just do what I think is funny, and I don't always get the likes I'm looking for. I'm not paying for followers or any of that. So everybody on my page, thank you, God bless, is a true, genuine follower. And his question said, do you feel like there's an even playing field for Black female creators who lean on super tactical or sexy shell content? Of course. See, here's what people got to understand. When people applaud, when somebody does a show, people are going to continue to do their show to that magnitude, right? It takes for a person to say nah, or a demographic, or people to say nah, for people to say, well, let me try something else. People have to do what works for them. And I humbly get it. Women have sex appeal. I know I have sex appeal, but 9 times out of 10, when I feel like I'm working, I'm working. Like I never think to like put on makeup or put on my finest or throw my chain on to do a reel. I literally be in the house chilling, coming home from work or whatever. And I'm like, man, let me get to it. So I do think that it's no different from what we see in everyday life. How people may think some females who are real pretty, they get to go further with a certain caliber of people versus people who are not pretty. But, I tell people, if you don't like it, don't engage. Me personally, you gonna get number real over here. So, that's just my preference. But I definitely think that social media has played a part in making people feel like they have to get dressed up and look their best and do things to get this attention. And not everybody, but we start to see it with the reality shows that make us look bad. We see it all the time. So I just think it is what it is, and I think that the people that like it will like the page, comment, and then it's a demographic of people like me who people just want to come see the real. So I give you a little sex appeal, but ain't much. You gonna get that work appeal, that whip appeal. That's what you gonna get from over the Pretty Shooter page.
I can say while I was viewing your page, I was like, well, I want to use one of your pictures, and I just like carry yourself very well. And I know y'all may be looking for It's Destiny tonight. She could not join us tonight, but that's a great Second Amendment content creator to follow. I love the way she carries her firearm. She carries her firearm and she dresses very nicely, and she'll pull a SIG out of anywhere with anything on.
Shout out to her. Shout out to her. I just recently saw her page, so I was like, that's dope. She had the waist beads and everything. It's giving sex appeal. It's giving sexy, and I'll shoot you.
I'm trying to shoot my shot. Is it paper or steel, baby? You feel?
Listen, I don't know, man, but yeah, like shout out to all the content creators. And I don't even consider myself a content creator. I just consider myself wanting to get the information out there. And sometimes reels just the way to do it, but they're annoying. Let me tell you, that's work. To get in front of the camera for an hour or two, that's work.
I'm learning. I'm learning day in, day out. I'm learning. This is a journey trying to inform, educate, whatever it is that whatever we all trying to do. It ain't just as simple as lining up in front of a camera
Oh
because
no.
you your own worst critic. Sometimes I got so many videos in my phone, I done posted it and went back and put delete. You just got to build up confidence to this. But what you doing is actually changing lives. You actually, being a foot soldier in the Second Amendment industry, and we appreciate you. So this night is yours to give you your flowers, and we appreciate you, Miss Prettyshootersfirearms. My next question: exactly how hard is it teaching gun safety? I know with what's going on in times, uh, we do feel it's important to be armed, but I do think a lot of people are seeing firearms and they seeing them being used. So is that taking a part of like when you training people? How exactly hard is it training people on safety?
I think that's kind of one of the hardest parts. So, teaching people how to shoot the gun, that's easy work. As long as they can listen, that's the easy work. We've proved that kids can shoot guns, right? But getting a person to make the information real for them, right? You have to make the information real to them and you have to explain it in a way that they're not left thinking like, well, what does she mean? So a lot of it is breaking it down to the simplest form and making sure you giving them the law verbatim. A lot of people will change up the verbiage to make it easier, and you're gonna get it straight how it's supposed to come from me, right? I start my classes with talking about ignorance and carelessness. Once I can get you to understand where you was at to where you going, we're gonna have smooth sailing, right? I make myself available to my clients after training. I follow up with my clients after training. I make sure that the process and everything is seamless for them. I engage with them on their social media. I put up reminder posts. I give them tons of information when they come to class. My concealed classes, they get a binder or folder full of all types of stuff, custom everything. Y'all know, Pretty Shooter comes, she gotta do it. But yeah, it's honestly the hardest part is making sure that they keep up with what you're telling them.
Okay.
Because I can teach it to you, but are you really going to go home and keep up with it? Are you really going to follow through with not just doing this 2 weeks after class? Are you really going to go home and create a safety plan? Are you really going to talk to your kids about gun safety now that you have a firearm in the house? Are you really going to push your partner to constantly, run through your safety plan like how the kids run through it at fire drills? Like, our kids do fire drills. Why don't we do it from our own house? Why don't we do drills how we would get to safe locations in our own house? So I try to make training as real as possible, and I try to break it down to the point where we're having fun. We're learning. We're learning the whole time while we're enjoying ourselves, and I try to make sure that people are comfortable, right? A lot of people don't learn the same. Some people need visual aids. Some people are auditory. They need to hear you. So I incorporate all of these things into my class for everybody, and it's something for everyone. But I try to be as much safety into them as I can. And I'm not a funny person, but I try to make a few jokes and things, a few references that they'll always remember. So it's like a lot of things that I say is probably embedded in their brain after they leave class because they like, man, the way you said it was just so funny, but it's real. So giving them the information, but making it impactful, making longevity out of the information is what I try to strive for. So it's definitely hard, but we do the best we can, man, and just hope that they take it the rest of the way.
That's important. That's the grind. That's the motivation, the focus, and the ordinance we all need sometimes. We appreciate you being that foot soldier in that industry. I know we was talking on the phone and I was trying to get to know you. And you told me you give the people what they need. and not what they want.
Yeah.
Elaborate a little bit on that, just pertaining to, because where you're from is Maryland, correct?
Yes.
So in Maryland, y'all have to have some form of identification, or you have to go through some type of certification in order to carry concealed, correct?
Yeah, Maryland is crazy, man. If you're a Maryland resident, you got to do a 4-hour class to get that license to purchase. So Maryland has two things. You have to do a 4-hour class, get fingerprints, do that application, get approved for that license. That's your license to purchase. Then you got to sit through 16 hours plus 2 hours of range time to apply for that to get your license to carry. So one license allows you to buy and one allows you to conceal what you bought. Maryland is different. We just switched over to being a shall issue state. Before we was may issue. Everybody know may issue mean we may give it to you, we may not. So I mean, it definitely is nice because now I know that everybody who lives in the state of Maryland has some basic knowledge of their firearm. I think it's that double-edged sword for me. Dang, why we got to go through so much training? It's annoying. But then on the other side, it's like, dang, I feel a little bit more confident knowing you know how to put your ammo in correctly, and you know how to just listen out for a squib load, you know. So it's a lot of little quirks and things that is good with all of the training, but then it's bad because it's like, man, you got us jumping through hoops to get something that should be a right. But they changed that. As long as you ain't got no record, you can get it. You don't have to provide no business, no none of that no more. So it did just open up to where a lot of people are thankful and they're able to get it now. So I mean, yeah, Maryland a different beast. DC is kind of the same way. DC 16 hours plus 2 hours range time. So pretty much my surrounding areas, excluding Virginia, the requirements, you're gonna be in class 2 days. Yeah.
How many rounds y'all got to shoot?
25.
Oh, that's
25 rounds. The most points you can get is 125. You got to get a minimum of 70%. So it's not real bad when you think about it. You don't have to go further than 15 yards. So everything before then, I try to touch on just so my students can have some background and seeing what's what. But for the most part, as long as you go in and you're effective and you remember everything that you learn, I rarely have people fail. I've had a few, but I rarely have people fail. So it's really a good class. It's a long class, but it's a fun class. If I can make 2 days with me fun, you know, that's my greatest achievement, doing those long classes and people like still wanting to do more, like wanting to come back on the third day. And I'm like, nah, that's it. So yeah, I appreciate that.
My Fly family again. And man, don't, if you got any more questions, throw them in there, man, because I ran through a couple questions myself, and we always want the viewers, if any of y'all, any ladies out there, any men, y'all got a question pertaining to the Second Amendment, y'all want to ask the lovely lady something, please go ahead.
Feel free. So he said, have you had the opportunity to shoot or train a youth? I do all the time. So thankfully, I train kids. People ask how young. I have some kids that come to me that are not ready for the range and they just need to get the gun safety part. They need the conversation of, hey, you know, mommy or daddy has a firearm in the house. So it really depends. The youngest that I've trained is 4. My children started training at 4. We started reading safety books and things at about 3 to kind of build them up to that. But you know, it's never too early to start training. You know, don't just think firearms. Think, hey, let me make sure you know what a reputable adult looks like. Let me make sure you know that if something happens and I get into a gunfight, that you can take cover and you can wait there and somebody will help you. It's a lot of things our kids need to know. What they should do at school if a mass shooter comes. How should they get down on the ground? What things can they look for to kind of help them get out of a situation? Do they know emergency numbers? Do your kids know not to talk to the police until one of the adults in the safety plan of the home is present? Do your kids know not to go play near your guns? Do your kids know see something, say something? So I train kids all the time. I train teenagers. I train kids. I train senior citizens. Hell, I may train dogs soon. It is what it is, you know. Whoever wants the training can get it. I always enjoy making new training classes and meeting new people and meeting age groups of all kinds, because these kids are way more advanced than us. They IT coders and they on social media and all that. We had MySpace, you know. We were doing So these kids are way more advanced and they understand. You give them the information correctly and they'll understand. So I train kids all the time. That was a good question. Thank you.
Man, that's why we love that my fly family. That's an amazing question. That ran off into some amazing information. Uh, because I do think the earlier you expose your children to guns and in a safely manner, the better off they are to come. Because the thing with the Second Amendment, it's not going anywhere. The guns are not going anywhere. They're actually being glorified around our children in the wrong ways. And that just pertains to a snowball effect of issues. So when you can actually take that curiosity out of the gun for the child, you change them. You let them know, hey, this is the power that this holds, and that's the beautiful thing about it, man. So we appreciate you,
But
teaching the youth. That's what we need.
just to piggyback off of that, right? And this is most stuff parents don't even think about, right? When your child starts walking and going to the drawers and stuff, parents be like, "Don't go in there, don't go in there." Have you really told your kids like, "Hey, these knives in the kitchen are not for play"? Hey, it's so many things we have in our home that people don't realize. It should be a conversation with the kids, right? In the African American community, we'd be like, "Well, let us know if somebody bully you. Let us know if somebody touching you. We don't play that." But reality of it is, it's like it's a lot of stuff in your own home that your child should really know what it's for, to unpique curiosity, right?
Right.
Your child may try to go get some cereal and stand up on the counter and not even realize there's knives in there. It's a lot of explaining that we don't do because the situations are not so prevalent. So it's almost like we have to get out of that mindset thinking, let me just train them on firearms. It's everything. Your
Right.
child know how to cross the street appropriately? Does your child know how to get in the car and look behind them before they get in and close the door? Does your child, like, it's a lot that if you start embedding it in them now, they'll understand when they get of age.
So important. Shout out to everybody out there in the chat. Shout out Tactical Skill, Shout out Boatman, Tone, Gunman, Dudley, Erica, my fly family. We got the fly family in the building. Y'all got that tongue twister right there.
I'll
Chopper
give
with
I
Chan,
can say that 5 times.
Chopper with Chan, and Miss Arnisha Reed. How you doing, Miss Reed? Miss Reed asked you a question. She said, "Do you do trainings in a private setting?"
Good question. So trainings are done in a private setting. Depending on the class, we always have a class where it's not just like out in the open. We have a personal classroom. I want people to get that personable feel. I want people to know they can reach out and touch me during class. Plus, the way I be cutting up, it has to be in a personal setting. So I come to people, I do personal classes. People come to me, we meet at the range, we meet at private locations. I'm a stickler for it being comfortable for those longer classes, coming somewhere where you can kick your feet up and kind of just get the information and feel comfortable and confident in your surroundings. I like being somewhere where I know it's a lot of people and I know the people there. So if something ever popped off, I kind of know how to move. So we are in private settings. We're at the ranges throughout the area, licensed to be at 3 ranges in the area. Well, I can go to all of them, but I primarily teach at just 3 ranges in the area. So yeah, we outdoors, we indoors. So whatever y'all need, we can do. Private setting, definitely.
Cool. Do you accept the fellas?
I get a lot of. First of all, I may have y'all gonna make me put an asterisk in my name and put like a little parenthesis and put men welcome. I get a lot of men. My classes have started being at least half men and half women. It's crazy because word of mouth travels. When I get the men and they come to my class, they like, "Oh, you ain't playing." So they have fun. Sometimes they come with their girls or their wives, or sometimes they come with their moms or their sisters, or sometimes they come by themselves. My oldest person was like 88. I think to date, my youngest person, as I said, was 4. I get all types of people, and I get men every single class. Men are coming out, they showing up, and they don't really care about the gender. They just want great training. They want the best training that their money can buy.
Is any of them ladies out shooting the men?
I'm sorry, fellas. I love y'all. I don't know if y'all listen. Let me just say this: women can be more meticulous than men, right? We all know that women and men mature different. So when you're talking about, this is giving an example, when we're talking about, let's take a person who has not ever shot before, a man and a woman 9 times out of 10 will take her time learning something more than a man. A woman is more about finesse, and a man is more about girth and, strength, I think. So a lot of times, men, they have bad habits, and I have to get them out of those bad habits. They'll say, well, I've been doing this for all these years, and it'd be completely wrong. So women are tend to train, and I do have a lot of women who excel at shooting because they're so taking their time and breathing and calm. And I have some men who are just like, oh, I got it. So I would say, I'm gonna get that to my ladies. I would say women are better shooters than men. I would say women add a little je ne sais quoi to the field that, only we could bring, and then we doing it fly and fashion. I mean, what more could be better? So yeah, I'm gonna give it to my ladies. Shout out to my ladies.
Shout out to the ladies on the panel tonight in the comments who will watch the video, and shout out my wife, because my first time to the range with her and a Ruger 1022. They have a nice little bay of steel targets with targets ranging from here to the size of a little bit smaller than a penny. And when I say she worked that thing from smallest to the largest to the smallest, I said, ooh, okay. Well, I sighted that gun in, so I took my own horn.
Nah, that was all her. That's like saying you put the gas in the car so it drive better. Nah, that's all her. That's all her.
If you don't put the gas in there, you don't drive all right.
See, that's why men tend to be harder to shoot, because y'all got to come back for everything. But nah, I got to give it to my brothers too, especially the young ones. I get a lot of young brothers, 21 to 28, and they putting in work too, man. They want to do it right. They've seen so many people do it the wrong way and lose gun rights. So, I get a lot of young folks now who are really putting that work in, and they want to be good. They want to do the right things. They don't want to be ignorant or careless with their firearms. So shout out to the young brothers, because y'all doing it on a P level. I'm proud of y'all.
Quick questions from the people in the chat. Boatman Tone said, you going to Chopper Day?
Plan on it. I plan on going to Chopper Day. I plan on going out there. Don't know what time I'm gonna pull up, but I'm gonna definitely do my best. Shout out my Chopper. That's my Virgo brother, so you already know how I get down. I love my Virgos, man. He doing it in a major way. He don't make excuses. He get to it. He been doing it for the community, putting on out his own pocket. And what more can you ask for? He don't want nothing in return but for people to do things the right way and to take heed to some situations he done been in and say, man, we ain't gonna do that. He giving people free space. He gives free trainings. He has all type of trainings down at Chopper Day, man. And if you in Maryland, come on down. Or if you in Virginia, Woodford, Virginia, I think it's called, Resurrection of Chopper Day, man. Y'all go holler at my Virgo brother. All of them gonna be down there acting a fool. They bringing them big things out. Don't come with no skinny. Don't come with no skinny. So yeah, they doing it, man. They doing it. Just know, it's number love, man. We talk often, and all I ever say to the brothers, I'm proud of you. It's nothing else I could really say.
Man, shout out to the man of the hour with the Chopper Day. I know it got canceled the first time, but the resurrection sounds even better. No, you can't stop this one. So, man, I hope y'all have a fun, safe time out that way. I'm down in Alabama. As soon as we have something close to Alabama, I'm a big lock gonna be in that thing. Trust and believe.
Yeah, I ain't never been to Alabama, so I gotta make that trip.
Come on down to Alabama.
I'm kind of nervous though.
What you mean?
Cause your accent is all right compared to some of the ones I heard. I can't understand half of what the people be saying.
You know, I did graduate with a 2.6, you know.
Oh, hell. At least she was line leader. That's all we can ask for, you know. Yeah. 2.6.
Shout out to Jay Pelham. What's the minimum age that you are willing to teach?
4. I would say 4, no firearms. A lot of people think when they say teach firearms immediately, and it's like, y'all, we got to slow walk this. If you do it properly, it's stages of how you should start training children. And you got to look at their attention span, right? The best person to look at their attention span and tell if they're ready is a licensed, vetted instructor, someone who has been doing this for a while, just to kind of tell you, like, I don't think they're ready. Let's continue the conversation with them. Let's make sure they understand the 4 safety rules. They should be able to recite them back to me, and then we can move on. A lot of times kids just want to be kids, man. So the youngest age that I've ever taught is 4. And that was just kind of letting the child know that guns are not playthings. The parents had guns in the home, things like that. But yeah, start as early as you can. Start as early as you can. But you know your kids. If you know your child is not, he ain't gonna pay attention, slow walk him. Slow walk him and make sure he know his phone number and things like of that nature, or 911 and things. So it's a lot you could do with training, man. You should make it a monthly thing, a family thing. It got to be everybody. It's a lifestyle change. So the minimum age, the youngest age I've ever taught was 4. So I start talking to them at 4 to see where they are.
I think that's a good number. I think my dad put my first gun in my hand at the age of 6.
Right. About 6, they be ready to shoot. My son started shooting at 5. He wasn't really into it. My oldest, and then it was like, So it really depends. But I say 5 or 6, their first opportunity to shoot. Before, the information got to start coming. They on tablets. They know how to work phones, unlock passcodes. They can understand simple safety rules and simple verbiage to say, see something, say something.
Right. And it's better you as the parent to have the knowledge or the want to get them to the right person and teach them yourself before you let the internet or music teach them about guns. That's one of my biggest things. If you have them, don't shy them away from your kids. Inform them, let them know, and we gotta let this process be a better process, because if you need to lock your gun up around your child just because they're your child, you should know.
Yeah.
But my fly family, I love the question. What's your favorite EDC? I need to know you. Glock girl, SIG, CZ, Miss TI, big ball.
Walther right now is smashing the game. My Walther PDP 4-inch compact. It does something to my spirit every time I get it in my hand. So right now, that's my everyday carry. If I have to switch up with something smaller, I'll do a 43X, or I'll do the Canic Elite TP9 SE.
Okay.
But that Walther, I'm picking her up every time.
It's a her. What's her name? Because I named mine too.
I didn't even name her, baby, but all I can tell you is she a her. She a her. She a her, and her pronouns are pay me. She a her, and she is feisty. I bought some low back straps. I got to put them on there. Them brass gold back straps just make it sit so firm in your hands. And it shoot flat. I love the aerodynamics on it. Straight out the box, that thing is amazing. The trigger is nice and crisp, not too much take up. It's not heavy at all. It's very lightweight. And yeah, I'm just loving it. I'm just loving it. So I'm definitely digging the Walther. And I slept on him for a long time, but now we're here.
That's true. My first time seeing a Walther in the store, I was like, what is this? And who was this? I didn't know nothing outside of Glock, Smith & Wesson, and SIG. But
yeah,
when my money get where I want it, I'm gonna buy a little bit of everything. But I know that's a nice quality gun. We had a conversation earlier, and you kind of got into this same question, but I'm gonna ask it now, maybe so you can go a little bit into detail to it. Do you get a better response to someone who has never touched a gun versus someone with a previous background?
That's a hard question, because sometimes that previous background don't be nothing but coming from the hood, and I gotta retrain them with everything they know because they cousin and they uncle and told them something. And then the people who are new, it's all new information to them, so they're not challenging you or telling you that they heard it and things like that. So I would say new people tend to be easier. I always get a lot of people to say, I'm a veteran, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then they come to class and they don't remember stuff. And so it's almost like trying to teach an old dog new tricks. But I would say new people are a little easier because they're just hearing it. they're doing it the right way out the gate, and they don't have time to create bad habits. They're coming out the gate creating good habits. And I always tell people, learn it, do it, know it. It'll be embedded in your brain. So I would say new people never touch the gun can be the easiest to teach. Yeah.
Great information. And I felt that when I was getting ready to ask that question, I was like, this seems about right, because it sounds like people would create those bad habits. Jay Pelham said, which handgun has the least kickback? Could I answer this one? And maybe you come behind?
Go ahead.
Because I might be wrong. We got some experts. We got some people who really got some guns out here. But y'all let me know if I'm wrong. Which handgun has the least kickback? There's so many guns out there. If you want to be more specific and you may ask for a woman, just basic knowledge of the gun, the heavier the gun is, the lighter the bullet, the least recoil is going to have. So best you can probably have is a heavy steel gun like a SIG AXG or a SIG X5, shoot 9mm. You got a heavier gun that's gonna reciprocate that recoil a little bit better. But
you had me worried for a minute. You did all right. I was like, hold up, what? I put my glasses down. What did it say? Don't talk about no girl gun. Hold up now.
Yeah.
Good answer though. Good answer. He's right. Yeah. The smaller the gun, the more the kickback. Can I give you an analogy of what I tell people in class? And see, this is information they pay for, so I'm gonna give you the nugget. Y'all know when people have babies, right? You know what a preemie is. Preemie baby, a real teeny baby, right? You ever see how people get nervous holding this real teeny baby, but then you get you a 10-pound baby and people walking around with him on one arm, right? And I always tell people, and I say, even though we're so much bigger than that little teeny baby, it's hard for us to get a good grip because it's not comfortable. It's so small, right? Learning the fundamentals. You should always start out on a full-size firearm and then work your way down for comfort. But the larger the firearm, the more you can practice your fundamentals, the more you can actually physically see your grip. You can feel it go all the way around. You can, you can just get high on that back strap and still have your hand on there, no finger hanging off or anything. You always will start out better, and then you'll see where the recoil is from there. But again, full-size firearms tend to have less recoil than the smaller ones, just like that preemie. You're going to feel everything, and you sitting there like this. So, yep, he is correct, guys. And there's no such thing as a girl gun. You got to get a gun for comfort, and you got to know why you're getting it.
Right, because I always think when it's time for women to carry and it's time to go shopping with their boyfriend, it's like they want the gun they feel comfortable with. And a lot of women, my wife, for instance, she doesn't like racking and slide. And I try to let her know you only have to do this twice because your gun is going to be loaded. There will be one in the chamber. She's comfortable with carrying one in the chamber. So the only time you ever need to rack that slide again is if you have a malfunction or you run empty. But a lot of times when women get guns, they love to get, the smallest gun they can get. Well, if you get the smallest gun you can get, micro carry, and you get it in 9mm, you got to realize you still shoot 9mm, and the gun is small. It's small in your hand. It's small with the grip. You got a pinky hanging down at the end, and it's gonna be snappy. So find something that's in your comfort zone. Always try to
don't buy guns based on color. Buy guns based on comfort. It should be based on what your use is. Is it for home defense, concealed carry? Buy it based on the maintenance. Is it crazy amount of maintenance? How much does the ammo cost? Is it readily accessible? Buy it based on size and comfort. If it's too heavy for you, do not force yourself to like something that's automatically too heavy or too small. Get something that feels good in your hand straight out the box, and then you can move to things like customizations or whatever. Then you have to ask yourself, like, okay, what am I really using this for? How am I going to carry this? You have to go through all of these motions and try before you buy. Guns are like cars. Test drive it.
That was my next words out of my mouth. Please go to a range,
test drive
a gun, shoot it a couple times, get used to it. Oh, this is too big. This is too small. But buy once, cry once.
I guess.
Buy ones, cry ones. Cause how many you?
I buy on impulse, so I'm not the perfect person to ask.
Oh,
I have guns that I would never carry, but I buy them to show people, like, hey, this is what people talk about that's cheap, and you don't want cheap. And then I have, so I have a little bit different ideology. So don't ask me. I cry all the time. Every time I leave out the house, I feel like I'm pulling up to a gun store. So I'm not the perfect person to ask.
my five family. Have you had the opportunity to train someone with a handicap?
I have. I've trained people with different things. So, handicap could be something like someone was born with a hand deformity. They have lost finger dexterity from car accidents. I've trained with someone who's on a what's it called, a prosthetic leg. So I train with people who are partially blind. I know it sounds crazy, but they can see good enough. But people, life hits you hard. Life be lifing. And you have to figure out where you can start them and where they're end. A lot of times the disability and how good they are with maneuvering through it will let you know how much you can give them. And sometimes they want to come to hear the information, right? Coming to a gun class is more than just putting a gun in your hands. It's actually, you should be able to know how to think if someone else in the room has a gun and you don't. So a lot of people just want that component of, I want to feel safe when I go out and I don't want to be a burden to anyone. So a lot of people with disabilities and handicaps, they do come train, and we see where we can take them if they can get to the range or not. But the more the merrier. No one should be disregarded from getting information. The information is out here. We see the news. We want the information, and people just want to be safe. So I have trained people with handicaps and a wheelchair. The people in the wheelchair can shoot now. Like, I can't even call them handicapped because one sense go bad and the other ones heighten up. So they be ready to go. And they already used to using their wheelchair if they rolling it around, if they have a regular one. So it's a lot of people with handicaps that shoot.
It's good information. See, I told you I like that, boy.
They go that accent. They go that accent. You got real Alabama-ish, real just now. When y'all having a good time, you be like, I like that boy. Like, what?
Like that, boy. Hey, it's that's why I want you to come down here. Come to the South. Come to Atlanta. Just come to Atlanta. Weekend, a night in Atlanta.
Oh, I'm always in Atlanta. I may not always post it, but I got family down there. Stone Mountain, Smyrna.
Okay.
Marietta. I'm always down there, at least a few times.
You a skip and a hop away from Birmingham, Alabama. That's what you saw all throughout your textbooks.
Oh, then you in Birmingham. Y'all famous. I'm gonna come down there locked and loaded.
Hey, please. Please.
I gotta blend in. You gotta give me the dress code. I gotta blend in. I'm gonna come down there looking like a person.
I'm finna wear this outside right now. Ain't no color codes. Just wear your scrap.
For sure. I can do that.
You operate out of Maryland, correct?
Yep.
Do you have any information for the surrounding areas? Like, what would that be, DMV areas, or do you have information like for anybody, even for me or my wife here in Alabama? Like, who all do Prettyshootersfirearms? Who all can you service?
We service everybody. I do classes for Maryland, DC, and Virginia. I'm a licensed Utah instructor. I do a lot of Florida. I do a lot of Arizona. I do a lot of Pennsylvania. I do a lot of whatever I can do. I've helped people get Connecticut. I personally have 8 concealed carry licenses throughout the country. If NRA and USCCA can touch it, I can do it. Now, of course, there's a few things that limit me: New York, California, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, New Jersey, a few of those things. But all of the surrounding counties, everywhere in the DMV, I do. West Virginia has permitless carry, so that's already covered. So yeah, come holler at me. I'm doing multi-states. I'm doing all type of stuff. So we do everything up here.
Great information. You can help anybody.
And if I can't, I know who to send you to. I'm big on that. I'm big on creating a network of people that I trust to send people to. So if you know something, whether you in another state or somewhere else, I probably can send you to somebody. So definitely hit me up on social media, hit me up on my website. And yeah, I get you together.
We appreciate that. We're gonna clap it up for you again on that, because that's a part of the Black
With
Exodus.
the real claps for me.
The real claps. We ain't none of that foo foo. None of that foo foo. But I do want to say it's just that important, because I believe in the Black Exodus, which is when we left out of the South and people made it out of the South during slavery times. It was a goal and a mission to either come back and bring somebody else with you along the way, or come back and teach and help. So I always appreciate anybody, and I inspire anybody to always reach back down and help somebody once you make it out. Don't have that crabs in a bucket mentality. Gunman Deli, I like that dude. Me and him, we're gonna be doing a live next Thursday talking about escaping the matrix. But he asked a great question right here. Um, I know we can't completely stop it, but what do you think we could do to slow down female and children human trafficking?
Well, for one, training. If we really get serious about these things, I know people remember stuff like neighborhood watching stuff. We have never been outnumbered. We're just out thought pretty much. You know, where we need to get back to a place where everything is a safety plan, right? Kids should be able to know when to recognize something is wrong, right? Especially if you're outside, especially if things like that happen. If your child is walking to and from the bus stop, it may be a good idea to have a meeting point or somebody in the middle. It's like we have to treat these times as if they're sacred, because we see stuff happening we've never seen. Training your child is the number one way to get this to stop. Training more females to understand, use the buddy system. Don't wear certain clothes in certain areas. Don't go to certain places at certain times of night. Always tell people where you're going. When you go into a store, keep your last receipt on you until you make it home to throw it in the trash. That receipt is your last known address until you make it back to your actual address. Always look around your car before you get in your car. Know the cues of when someone's following you. Always keep situational awareness at the top of your brain. Stay in condition yellow and be ready to go at all times. Always know that you can scream, kick, push, do whatever you need to do. Mentally prepare, physically prepare. There's 3 sides to every fight: the beginning, middle, and end. If you work on the beginning and train intellectually, your mental toolkit, you'll have that down pat, and you'll be confident enough to move on to the door. If someone's actually taking you, you will be able to think through it and think about, oh, if I kick them here and do this, I possibly can get out. If I do this, then I possibly will overpower them. If I hit them real quick, I can do this. You have to make yourself confident enough to actually want to save your life. Then when you get to the after effect, you have to know your family, everybody has to be in on your safety plan, especially the people in your household. Your household should have a safety plan, an emergency word. If you're not back in 10 minutes, this, that, and the third. It's so many things that we think are not vital that are so small that can help save a life. Don't let kids go anywhere by themselves. And just, be cautious, be vigilant, be cautious. And all we can do is train.
It's it's so important that we talk about that, because the times that's coming up, and it's like it's so much news out there, but nobody's making it. It's like it's a cry for help. How many women and children and men as well are being abducted, whether it's for organ trafficking, sex trafficking.
The
We
biggest people
have
in the world are doing it. Disney, we all want to go to Disney. We all want to go take the kids to the funnest place in the world. Places like that are where this starts. They get your information in the system. They know that you're spending your card crazy. You have doctors who are taking advantage of people. Police are taking advantage of people. These are they're their own groups and gangs. So sad to say, you have to be vigilant against everyone, and you have to create a plan to just know how to spot some cues, know what not to do. Don't always use every single card that you have. Stick to one card. Let that card be the card you use when you go out. And you just have to just know you want everything to be as minimal as possible, to not have all of your information out there. When I go to Disney, I put stuff on a little debit card that's not even my card I went and got from the store, and I use that like that, and I don't use any of my debit cards or anything, or I'm using cash. All of that stuff is little safeguards to help your name not be out there or for you to be trafficked.
Great. That's just I don't know, cause I get in this. I don't know. It's almost like a state of damn. Like what more can I do? But I guess I'm doing something right now by having you on this platform because it is real, and I will take that short snippet of what you said and make that a short and just let that narrative be what it is. We do have to start paying more attention to our surroundings, everything we do. And I tell my wife all the time, she's in love with um a little series going on Netflix right now, and I just be like, when you out in public, and I know you want to watch it, I'm in the car, and I'm going to Walmart or something. I'm like, look, just be on your P's and Q's, look around you, because something can happen in a moment's notice, and you just having your head on a swivel or reading body language or any of these things can change the outcome of the day. So
Y'all should try tapping each other. Me or my children cannot all be at the phone at the same time. 9 times out of 10, they'll tap me and be like, "Ma, pay attention." My situational awareness. For me to put my phone up, if they're on their phone, we always got to have each other back. So I started teaching them that. So just something as simple as, even if they tap me, and like my kids, if they're walking in front of me and I tap my son on his left shoulder, he knows to move around to my left because I'm drawing from my right. So it's a lot of little quirks and things. I always make sure when we walk from the parking lot, they're walking on my left side because I'm a draw from my right. I can't shoot ambidextrous, but I always let him know like where I'm carrying, stand on this side. And it's a lot of little things that prove to be helpful when we're out. Like I said, tell your wife, give you a little tap without saying nothing. She hit your shoulder, top of your shoulder. You already know what it means. You're gonna stop, you're gonna look up. So that's just a little something that y'all can do, and it's harmless and it's helpful though. So just know we train for the fight, because when that gun is done, when them bullets are gone, what are you gonna have? I'm gonna outthink everybody in the room, and I'm gonna make it out. That gun is only good for as many bullets as you got, because when you're done, you can't throw it on nobody. So just know that shooting is really 90% mental. But if you unlock, like what Gunman Dudley, if you unlock your third eye, you can't lose.
That's real. Give me 5 tips for my ladies out there who are interested or already carrying. Just 5 things that they should know. They might not know.
5 things. 1, every fight in life the only fight in life you're ever guaranteed to win is the one you avoid. That's number 1. I'm never going to tell you getting a gun or getting any type of weapon is going to make you into this John Wick type of person or Harley Quinn. The only fight in life you're ever guaranteed to win is the one you avoid. You only can avoid a situation by keeping your head on a swivel. 2, always, always, always take your safety into your own hands. Ladies, we are more than capable of creating a safe haven for us to just be able to train, and we are doing it. So do not be discouraged. Get confident. 3, get you some of the ways that women can conceal carry. We have so many ways to conceal carry nowadays: leggings, shorts, it's all types of stuff. The only thing that I ask is that whatever you decide to get, holster, shorts, whatever, purse, concealed carry bag, train with it. All of those methods require training, and know that you can successfully draw and you can clear and you can drive. Okay. Drive mean push your firearm out. 4, I would say be mindful of calling men to the scene and things like that. Try to have what I like to call containment. It's okay to call for help and things like that, like if your tire gets flat and things, but you have to kind of have some stuff in place before they get there. If something ever happens, you should have a code word, or you should have something, so that way the man in your life or whoever can help you help them, and vice versa. And 5, ladies, do not be afraid. If you are in a household with a man, your significant other, your kids, create a safety plan. It is not being a punk if one of you guys gets the gun and goes to the door, if there's ever someone trying to break in your house, and the other person gets the gun, their gun, and goes and hides. Understand, you should have a safe spot in your house that as soon as that code word goes off, whether it's banana, I don't care what it is, your household know banana means get in place. Start taking over your household, ladies, and being a part of your safety plan. We are no longer sitting on the sidelines. So I encourage you to be smart, to be prepared, not scared. And I encourage you to stay pretty and lethal. We got this.
That's the best 5 things I've heard in a minute.
You put me on the spot, but I hope that was good for y'all. But yeah, that's what I live by. Live by, die by.
Hey, you came with it. You came with it. Advice for anyone wanting to be a USCCA instructor or NRA. What would your suggestion to them be?
Find your why. Find your why. There are so many different instructors. There are so many different levels of instructors. There are so many different avenues. There are so many different demographics of people that still need to be touched. When you are 100% in your why, when you are 100% dedicated to your training, all it is to it is but to do it. It's not hard, but again, you have other people's life in your hands. So the best thing you can do is to do as much training, take as much time as you need, because when you start training people, they are going to rely and listen and hang on your every word, in addition to them doing their own research. So just know, do not rush into being an instructor. Get your credentials and keep practicing. Keep getting good. Make sure that you can not only teach, you can shoot. Make sure that you can not only shoot, you can cover in concealment. Make sure that you can not only cover in concealment, but you can teach all age groups. Make sure that you're diligent and you're intentional about your training. People cannot come into my class high, drunk, or any of that of the sort. I know we want to be cool and all of that, but you have to be very intentional with this training. Once you start taking classes, that's the easy part. Once you get your certificate, that's the easy part. Are you really ready to make a lifestyle change to teach people how to change their lives?
With that being said, do you teach to carry one in a chamber, or do you leave it up to the discretion of the people that you are teaching?
I always advise that you work yourself up to one in a chamber, right? I always suggest that when you get a new holster, being a new firearms owner, a new concealed carry owner, that you do what I like to call a quick dry run of just wearing your firearm, wearing your holster out of the house, just seeing how it fits. The last thing we want you to do is rush into carrying one in the chamber and your holster is not the right clip for the right pair of pants. Your belt is not correct. You're still learning for gear. Please understand that this is your life. Do a trial run. Take your holster and walk to the mailbox. Walk down your street. See how it feels when you sit in the car. See if you can get up and it's comfortable. Do some trial runs. When you have found your gear, when you have found your belt, your holster, when you have said, this is it, I got it. I'm carrying appendix or I'm at 2 o'clock. I'm IWB, I got it. When you know your setup, feel free to start carrying one in the chamber. I tell people this is a marathon. This is not a race. I'd rather you do it effectively than to do it and be sloppy and shoot yourself. Because then I'm going to start calling you Cheddar Bob and all I can do is pray for you. Nah, psych now, but y'all, for real though. Take your time. Go get up to it. Nothing in the chamber, maybe walk around the house, then go outside with nothing in the chamber but loaded mag, see how the weight feels, see if you need to adjust something. Start carrying one in the chamber when you know your gear is right. My first time buying a holster, I bought this cheap holster and it was so good until I wore a thick pair of jeans and it started to fold over and it was horrible. And I had to realize that now I got to really pay some money for a holster. $10 for a holster wasn't going to do it. So just know that you got to find the right gear and everything else will come.
That's amazing information right there. That's amazing information. We almost closing to that time. I wanted an hour of your time, but you've been.
I know you just got me on here. I'm just here. Like at this point, I'm like, order some food.
We know you got some people to get to in the morning, but we got a few more questions for you, and we got one viewer who wants to come on and ask you a question.
Okay,
is that okay?
That's okay. I can't say no to the people. I gotta give them what they want.
I gotta give the people what they want. We got an entertainer in the building, but you an angel though. I do want to say
that. I thought thought you said, my bad. You said entertain them. I know. I'm sorry. I'm out of my bad.
No, you definitely entertaining. We appreciate you though. We need that. We need that type of energy. And
yes.
just speaking of what you was talking about, I took my gun
off. What is he doing?
I took the belt off because I wanted to make a short about this, and people just don't. Sometimes they don't even understand it because they never been in them situations. The retention on your holster and the type of belt you have makes all the difference. Because I've seen people, you can have the tightest retention you want on your gun. You got it locked in. You can flip your gun upside down. It ain't coming out. But if you don't have the right belt, I done seen a lot of people carrying, running drills, and on their bloopers, you will see that up their gun, and next thing you know, comes the holster.
Yeah.
So get you a thick 1.5 inch 511 belt. I ain't trying to promote no brand, but this 511, any tactical belt that you can wear. And this is my
EDC. We promoting brands. Wilder Tactical. Go get you a Wilder Tactical. Go get you a Next belt. Okay. Go get you a Comfort Concealment. I mean, look, that's what I rock. I love Next belt, and I got the Great Man Solutions edition, so I feel a little pretty, but find you what works. 1.5 inches good. Recon Tactical. A lot of people don't know about them. That's what I use for my duty belt, my running gun belt. Find what works. But 511 a good brand too. They make great pants, great everything.
My Fly family. Last question from him. I utilize the Mantis Laser Academy. Is there any dry fire routine that you recommend?
Mantis. I use the Mantis X10. I use the Mantis Blackbeard. I use a lot of the CERT pistol on my TV with some simulations. I run drills. I use some laser ammo, lighted bores. It just really depends, man. So it depends on what my focus is for dry fire, right? It should not always just be the same focus. Am I practicing with the kids on this dry fire round? Am I practicing from lifting under a dress on this dry fire round? Am I practicing in the bed, sleep, woke up out my sleep? So I like to just do realistic, unrealistic, sometimes support hand, unsupport hand. So I would say Mantis is one of those ones that even if you have no knowledge can get you right. I use a lot of barber training solutions, targets all over my house. They're just a little sticky. So I may come down the steps one day and I may just want to pull and practice. So, you got to get it in when you can. It got to be realistic, though.
Realistic.
Bonnet on and everything. Bonnet on, face mask on, hot tea in my hand. Because that's how I'm hot tea in one hand, coming to turn the kitchen light off to mean the house closed. And I may got to pull and draw. So we always got to do what's realistic, man. So, I may be cooking one day and turn around with the spaghetti and I got to up you. So I got to practice.
That's it.
Man, what's going on, Mr. Johnny Gun Gang?
Man, pretty shooter, right?
Yep, you got it.
Man, I just want to come on and say, you guys know your craft.
Thank you.
Man, I'm so proud of both of y'all.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt. Y'all coming up. You know your craft. You speaking right. You telling everybody what's, the real. That's great.
That's all it's about, man. Gun laws is like bleach, good for the whites and bad for the colors, but no longer will we sit on the sidelines. We coming up.
There you go. I do got one question for you. Do you guys, or Pretty Shooter, do you got any kind of resources for people who have been in shootings?
I do. So if they've been in shootings and they have things like charges and things like that, it's a young brother that I work with. I think he's based in Virginia. Devin, the dude, he's called Felon with Firearms. He was a felon. He restored his own rights. So we do teach people the 3 dimensions of either getting expungement and record seal, pardon letter from the mayor or governor. We do help people try to find free legal aid. I know I do in my area, which at that point they can try to figure out if they need to do something on the paperwork side. But again, people got to remember the law is criminal and civil. So I always urge people to get USCCA's protection, so that way it covers you for both criminal and civil, especially if you had to get in a self-defense situation with any kind of weapon, pretty much your dog, your car, whatever. I'm a USCCA partner. Every class I have that's concealed carry, they come out, they do their presentation, and it's good information to know. So I do help people in that regard. I try to keep up with people as they're going through their process. I try to offer them encouragement because I think that's the thing that they're missing, because they think that they'll never be able to get it back. So I do what I can. I do what I can.
Nice. Last question. Do you do any kind of stop the bleed?
I am.
Do you teach people if they get shot? You know, because a lot of us, we have a thought that this is gonna be a one-way process. You're gonna draw, you're gonna put the bad guy down, and then everything's gonna be everything. But a lot of times you trade fire. You hit them, but they
gonna hit you. Yeah.
Right.
I'm a legal stop the bleed instructor. I'm a legal.
Oh yeah, you said you were in the nursing
I'm a legal
field, right?
stop the bleed instructor. I'm a legal BLS CPR AED instructor. I'm a legal Glock armorer. I'm a firearms instructor in many different fashions: RSO, CRSO, NRA, USCCA. So again, I'm not just going to teach you how to put holes in things. I'm going to teach you how to plug them up. And the bigger thing is I'm going to teach your kids how to save your life. I always preach 10 and over, CPR certified. I always preach. My son is as big as me. He can crack a sternum. So we got the house together, man. We got the house ready. My house is my fortress. If I ain't got it, they got it. And that's just how it's rocking, man. So I'm going to keep on. I've been in the medical field for, like I said, about 11 years. And healthcare is nothing new to me. I come from oncology background, so dealing with cancer, having to do different things, it was super important for me to be stop the bleed and CPR, because I want people to continue their training with me, and I didn't want the buck to just stop with putting holes in things. We plugging them up too.
You a bad girl. You the full package. You got it.
I try to be.
Bad girl. Wow.
I try to be.
Man.
Look, thank you. I appreciate y'all. But man, the people fuel me. And when I see a need, I'm gonna do the best that I can. And if I don't have it, I know who to send you to. So
there you go.
It's a network, man. Collaboration over competition.
All right, Big Glock. I'm about to bounce out. Man. Hell of a show, brother. Nice.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you for being a day one, man. I can honestly say
day one, bro. You know I hold you down.
We appreciate you.
For sure.
Man, but I know you gotta go, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
But you came on and you gave me my flowers. You gave Miss Pretty Shooter her flowers. Is there anything you working on, boss? You want to let us know about? Anything you got going on? You need us to pray for you, man? Anything that we can do for you?
Man, you know what? Me and you could collab. I want to do a live too, man, but I'm a little technically challenged. I don't even know how to do the live, bro. So
oh shit. My first live, it was me talking to people like they see us now, but my viewers could only see me. And
wow.
So look, it's a learning curve, but we gonna do that, man. We gonna most definitely get you in there, man. Let's handle it.
For sure, man. Yeah. I want to do tactical Tuesdays or tactical Thursdays or something like that, where I talk about some tactics.
Man, I appreciate you, man. Well, you have a blessed night tonight, man.
You too, brother. Yeah, I'll hit you up on IG, bro. We'll connect. All right. Talk to you later.
Peace up.
Bad girl. You bad girl.
Thank you.
What state are you in?
Maryland.
I know if I'm ever in Maryland, I know.
Come on, Abby. You already know.
Who can patch me up. All right, y'all.
Bye.
All right, take it easy, boss. Man, what a live tonight. Shout out to everybody feeling this thing, man. Shout out to Arnisha Reed. Shout out to Tackleberry Bull. That's Tackleberry Bees. It does it so easy. Shout out Chopper with Chance. Shout out everybody who win this thing. But I've got my hour out of you. We got great information. We got a great live, and in real honesty, when we get off of here, I'm joyful. I'm really joyful because that was some good information. People need that.
Yeah.
Man, y'all make sure y'all share this. Y'all like that, subscribe. Y'all jump in there, man. We're gonna try to do this every Thursday. We're gonna try to get somebody on the platform to give some gain, some knowledge. We're gonna talk about life insurance policies, whatever we need to talk about, anything to help uplift us. Even if we have to freestyle one Thursday and just get shit off our chest, that's what we gonna do. But man, I appreciate everybody. Let us know what you got going on in the works, promote anything you want to promote. Let us know about your business, and we gonna let you leave. We're gonna let you go to bed tonight.
Next week, I'm dropping a whole brand new from scratch website. That thing is fire. Okay, be on the lookout for the new website. I have some other things coming down, but if y'all know me, I'm not going to talk about it until it comes down. Just know if you follow me on Instagram, you're going to be one of them ones who going to get that info. I got all new coming for y'all. We talking about merch. We talking about classes. We talking about location. It's get ready to go down, y'all. I'm bringing 2023 in like I got the S on my chest, and I'm not going to stop. I'm doing this for y'all. Y'all get ready to start seeing a slew of new classes. Y'all get ready to start seeing me do classes with other instructors. You're going to start seeing me travel more. You're going to start seeing some more certifications, some more business license from Pretty Shooters. You're going to start seeing some more nationally syndicated platforms, YouTubes, all of the above. You know why? Because I'm doing it for y'all. As long as I keep God first and y'all keep loving on me the way you do them and keep going hard for y'all, everything new coming soon.
One more time. We gonna bow for the queen. We gonna clap for the queen. We gonna give you your flowers tonight, and I appreciate you so much.
No problem. And plug in real quick. I'm wearing Hill Square, my other brother from down here. He blessed me. I had to beg for it, but he blessed me. So shout out to him. I got the merch on tonight. Pretty shooter chain. Big up.
Man, I saw that chain nice.
Come on, man. Come on. Just a little sauce.
Hey, I'm like, oh, when I make it, I gotta. Everybody know this the Big Lock TV chain. It's just the gold thing. But I'm gonna get me some nice, and I'm gonna let you know you inspired me. I think the whole Bug Nation finna get changed. We just gonna be one.
Well, this came after I hit my first business goal. I had many, but it was one specific goal I was trying to hit. And when I hit it, I said it's a done deal. So I had this in the works for a minute. I went out and did it. Yeah. So shout out Sammy to Julie. He got me VBS down. So, I appreciate everybody. Yeah. Just a little something. Don't try to run up on me though. Don't hold on, y'all. Don't try to,
out the host
keep you cool. Keep your head. Keep you cool. Keep your head.
Oh man, you've been a ball. Hey, don't let this be the last time we chat again. It's been a pleasure, my virgin sister.
Yes, and that's what it is. Virgos come through and do it big. You already knew that.
But we vibrate high. We vibrate high.
We high vibrational, but I eat low vibrational plates. It is what it is. Ooh. It is what it is. High vibration, but I can't wait for Thanksgiving for one low vibrational plate. Love y'all.
With that being said, is there anything else? Because we get into that hour and 30-minute mark. I like to end things on. So anything else you want to say, my lord? The stage is yours.
I think I said it all. Again, remember, y'all, the only fight in life you're ever guaranteed to win is the one you avoid. Do your best to do so. Love y'all.
With that being said, y'all heard what she said. That's the lady. Miss Pretty Shooters, you've been a blessing. You've been everything to us tonight here on Big Lock TV. I appreciate you.
No problem. Thank y'all. I rarely turn down YouTubes. I like meeting new people. I like talking to people. So it's a pleasure. It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Hey, you gave the family, you gave us some valuable information. I'm gonna take some of this video and cut it up because there's some key moments in there. And I know people got an hour and 30 in their attention span.
I know.
But they can get that 60-second clip of you speaking that real.
Well, so, I appreciate that.
Yeah. With that being said, you have a great night. Good night. And hey, when we talk again, we'll talk.
For sure.
Take it
all right, y'all be easy. Thank y'all.
Woo, boy, it was a great live. I'm super excited, man. I'm super happy. That was amazing. We thank Miss Pretty Shooters, Miss TANIECE. out there in Maryland with Pretty Shooters Firearms. Y'all go check her out. She's been a blessing tonight. We got at an hour and 29. I appreciate all you lovely people for jumping in on this platform, coming, having so many things to say, and just giving in to Miss TANIECE and I. And y'all asked some amazing questions. We shout out My Fly Family, Tackleberry Bull, Miss Arnice Reed, Saint the Realist, Chopper with Chan, Tactical Skill, you know, Mr. D. Sumlin. It's Gunman Dudley. If I miss your name, trust and believe. I ain't mean to. It's all love. I love you. I love you all. But this has been Big Lock TV. You can catch me tomorrow with your boy Tackleberry Beezy. We're gonna be cutting up over there on his platform. If y'all haven't, go follow that man. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the family, man. Y'all not subscribers when you come with me, man. This is family. And it's been love, man. It's been real having y'all along. Share this video with some ladies. Share it with kids. Share this video with whoever is willing to listen, because she dropped some gems tonight. Those gems can help change a life. Getting a plan ready, getting your license and everything else ready. Some of these things that we can do, just being on our P's and Q's, all these things can just help us elaborate to that next level of safety with firearms. But we want to thank again Miss Pretty Shooter Firearms, and this has been Big Lock TV. I appreciate y'all.